Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast and a game between OGS Hero, who I thought was part of Team Liquid. So I believe it is Liquid Hero versus Harrier Pros S here on Antigua Shipyard. This game was taken from BattleNet, I believe. I haven't seen any professional games actually played on Antigua Shipyard, or there's not that many. And I just wanted to perhaps highlight and feature OGS Hero a little bit more, or Liquid Hero a little bit more. I believe he was transferred over a couple months back, right before Huck went from Liquid to EG. So we'll see how this works out. OGS Hero spawning as the blue Protoss player here at what I'll call the 11 o'clock position. Meanwhile, Harrier Pros S spawning as the red Terran player here at the 2 o'clock position. And unfortunately for Harrier, he has spawned clockwise of his opponent, and that means that his third base is going to be very, very difficult to defend. The third base over here is much easier to defend from any opposing attacks, as the destructible rocks do not are a little bit further out of the way. Meanwhile, if we can take a look at Hero has very easy access into these destructible rocks and will be able to push in on this third base if the game does go that long. Pros S pretty much opening up with a simple barracks build already, so it's going to be barracks and a supply depot. We should be seeing a refinery in just a moment. Or, yes, there's the refinery. Meanwhile, back over here, you can take a look at Hero. Hero has gone for the pylon gateway assimilator. We'll perhaps be looking for that all-important second pylon. And the timing of that second pylon, it is coming in before the second cybernet or the cybernetics core, so you know that it is going to be a pretty economic standard play, no cheese as of yet. Now, and we'll see what Hero tries to go for. Hero, or Protoss players in general, had a number of options early on in the game, and for a while it was really popular for Protoss players to train up a Zealot while the Cybernetics Core was coming in, and then train up a Stalker right behind when the Cybernetics Core was done for some early Zealot Stalker pressure. But that's all changed as Terran players have started to build a little bit closer to their ramp, being able to utilize that ramp a little bit more, as we are now going into a reactor build on this barracks. So an interesting choice here, getting a reactor. And now you can also see Harrier does not have a command center as of yet. So this is a reactored marine, a reactored barracks expansion attempt, most likely. But he is going to be a little bit behind on food, as his opponent is now chrono boosting out a Stalker. Hero is not chrono boosting out the Cybernetics Core. He wants to chrono boost out that Stalker to deny any scouting, and one chrono boost does increase the overall production time by 10 game seconds. So this SCV, if it stuck around any longer, would have been destroyed. There is a probe back over here at the ramp. A bunker is being established now. And now we are also seeing a command center being built here. So a bunker on the front door normally means some sort of tech play. But Hero doesn't know that it is actually going to be an expansion play. A Nexus also coming in from Hero as well. The natural expansions are very easy to defend. Hellion harassment a little bit more difficult because of that natural ramp here, as a second barracks and third barracks also being added into play. So currently two Marines, the probe now coming around, trying to take a look, sees that there is no command center, but really will not be able to do all too much. The SCV trying to sneak out, and will it be able to? No, the Stalker, with the help of the probe, going to catch this, and now Hero opening up a proxy pylon in the dark. No, it is not in the dark, as the Marines are now trying to come out to engage it. It looks like SCVs are going to be coming in. This Marine is able to take down the probe, but this one pylon has been canceled. I was going to say it would be difficult for Harrier to try to take down this pylon. The range of 6, that pylon would have been just in the perfect position to fend off, as another bunker has been canceled. I guess the cheese opportunity has passed. Hero now opening up and now getting into a robotics facility. The warp gate research has been completed. Now upgrading those 3 warp gateways into warp gates. It does take 10 seconds to do so, as now a Nexus is, or the Nexus has finished for Hero. Hero now going to get a lot better economy going into the mid-game, as you now see 27 probes versus 20 SCVs. Not a good sign for Harrier, as Harrier is currently behind, but there are enough Marines to really fend off the Stalker here, and the Stalker is forced to retreat. Marauders are being added as well. Concussive shell being researched. SCVs transferring over. Bunkers need to be reestablished here in order to make sure that there is not going to be any sort of 6-gate pressure coming in from Hero, as Heroes perhaps expecting that there's going to be a drop, leaving some of the stalkers back at home. And this is the normal time for a drop. If a drop was to come in, he hasn't really gotten that much information on his opponent just quite yet. The robotics facility finally training up an observer. The observer will take a look around into here and see exactly that Harrier's pretty much playing standard. A probe walking straight into its death. A bunker with 4 Marines. As we can see currently that there is not that much research going on. No stim, no combat shield, which is a bit of a surprise, as stim and combat shield normally research very early, especially against a Protoss opponent. Hero currently sitting with just 5 stalkers outside. Another proxy pylon over here. He will be able to warp in units. If Harrier had tried to engage, he could try to stop the retreat by putting in units in the back and then perhaps getting in some force fields and trapping them and sandwiching them right there. Hero does have an observer right outside the front door. We'll be able to see these Marauders and Marines if they do try to make some sort of move, as stim and combat shield now being started. Harrier currently sitting on 31 SCVs versus 40 probes. There are 2 mules in play, so that is definitely helping out. Mules balancing it out as a squadron or a decent sized army making its way out across the map. But we are going into a warp prism, so warp prism play may be coming in. An observer is catching sight of this. We are going into a reactor factory with a starport, so 9 times out of 10 that means that we are going to be getting medevacs. Without stim, this Protoss army is going to be much more deadly, as the Marines walk in and see that there are stalkers right outside the front door. The Marines are going to try to engage. Oh, why did he cancel that missile turret? Not quite sure, as the observers are now going to be able to catch up and gain sight onto that high ground. SCVs trying to come over to repair. They're going to have a very difficult time, as units are now an elevator proxy. Warp prism, is it going to work out? No, the warp prism now backing up. Force fields coming in and really battling up onto this high ground very effectively. There is a zealot walking in over there. That is not going to work, as really Hero just punishing Harrier Pro for building all of his buildings so close to the edge. This is something that you do not normally do, and now he's going to lose those all-important add-ons. 2 tech labs will get taken down. More buildings need to be added over here, as we now see a warp prism warping in zealots straight into the mineral line. SCVs are attempting to run away. More mules are being added, as well as the Marines. Oh, jumping up into the warp prism, and now in comes a push in from the front door. The bunker down to 47 hit points will repair just in time as well. So Harrier doing a good job trying to avoid destruction here, as now you can see, oh, Hero dropping in some zealots now. The warp prism is going to perhaps start warping in more units. Hero is not going to get focused down there. Finally getting focused down there. Medevacs coming over to try to repair, but I believe a lot of workers have been killed already. 27 versus 50. That is not good news, especially now that you see Hero taking up his 3rd base. Marauders jumping inside that bunker. Force fields could have prevented some of those SCVs from repairing it at all. And now Hero pretty much knows exactly what's going on inside this base at all times, with a line of 3 observers able to keep track of his opponent and know that he doesn't really need to engage right now. A pylon now going to be able to elevator up 2 steps onto this high ground here, and we'll see how that is going to work, as a drop now coming in from Harrier. Harrier behind, he knows that he needs to do something. Colossus now pushing in on the front door. The drop is now coming back, and there is the WG, or it's the Korean GG. The first W was on the American alphabet, or the Romanized alphabet, as opposed to the Korean alphabet. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Hero versus Harrier. Hero just really punishing Harrier by building all of these barracks here and here, and by doing so he lost a lot of key production time. He wasn't able to train up those Marauders, and he also lost a lot of important mining time when he had to bring over those SCVs to repair. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.